doing? Oh my gosh, it's so good to see y'all again.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh, Skylar and Tommy back with YPX. Like coming back here right now, I'm just remembering all those good times over the summer that we had doing YPX. We
Merry
had
Christmas. Yes, we're back together. This is
we
the
had some
Christmas.
good moments.
This is our holiday party.
Yes, I know. And unfortunately, the DJ canceled on us. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't have a DJ, but it would have been kind of cool. But no, we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah,
So yeah, what have y'all been up to? How's it been going?
it's gotten busy a little
Yeah.
bit.
It's
How
been
about you?
it's been exciting. We're doing our best. We're doing our best in our household. You got me clear?
Yeah.
To try and not get back out there
Mm.
where the COVID is. But man, it's been hard. Kids sports is more or less back in full swing.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's at the wrong time. But we're praying that no one gets sick. Because did you just sneeze?
No, I had to cough. It was like burning me up inside too. I was like, oh my gosh, and we just went live.
Speaking of COVID, are you okay?
No, stop! Don't even say that.
No,
Where
you're
are
right.
you coming to us tonight from?
No, so I'm back in Dallas. I
Okay.
caught a flight back to get here, and I didn't want to miss this.
Wait, from where?
So I went to Las Vegas to write my business plan for next year.
Okay.
So yeah, just had to get away.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to hear about that. That sounds like a lot of good artists vacate their homes to record, to write, I should say, others to record. So I applaud you for that. Getting away.
And this business planning, and I feel like the reason why I had to get away was because this business planning, it wasn't just, how many homes I want to sell next year or what to do with the team, but I just needed to be inspired creatively because I was planning like a lot of YouTube stuff and all that vlogs and stuff like that. So yeah, I just needed somewhere where I can just get it flowing. And so yeah, I went out there on Tuesday and came back today. Quick little turnaround.
Well, everyone looks so festive. You got your red,
my Christmas red, my holiday red. I finally just put up a little mini Christmas tree last weekend, and I have a big bag of decorations, and none of them are on the tree yet.
Oh.
So that's going to be this weekend's project.
I put up some blow up snowmen out in front of our house that won't stay up.
Are you serious?
And, yeah. He's 8 feet tall, and we've had him for a while. We didn't put him out last year, maybe not even the year before that. Put him out this year, and the fan that blows him up is a little weak. So he's out there like.
Dang.
that way after this year.
So me and Kessler, we get out there, and Kessler's like, he needs help, Dad. Come on. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. The fan is, as I'm saying that, he knocks him and he blows completely up. And I'm like, okay, so much for knowing what I'm talking about. So now every night we go out there, we give him a pop, and he stands all the way up. And I'm like, we'll get another one next year. This is the routine for this year, is we're going to give him a pop every night around 7:00, and he's going to completely inflate.
So Tommy, I'm kind of curious, do y'all go all out with the decorations? Like, obviously you just talked about an inflatable snowman. So I'm just imagining like this full like winter wonderland, or is that the extent of it?
We don't have, we've got some lights around the yard. We've got a couple blow-ups in the yard. One is a little snowman family, and then the big guy behind them that I just talked about. We've got a white Christmas tree lit up behind them. And once you get inside, then yes, all the Christmas decorations are out. Garland, shimmery, shiny decorations that some of which I stole for, I stole this guy off of our banister, the bottom of our banister. We've got our wine bottles decorated. Okay.
Okay, that's pretty legit right there.
Impressive.
And stole that from downstairs too, just for you guys.
Wow. What about you, Skylar? Do you go all out?
We're progressively going more out. I see Ashley's comment. Thank you. I promised her on Real Talk last week I would break out all the sequins for this show. And it happens. So, no, I mean, we're getting there. So I feel like I'm trying so hard, especially this year, to bring the magic of Christmas back, that I've gone like scavenging into the depths of our attic to find out what we have and what I remember from like 1996. Despite the fact I've needed my inhaler a lot more, it's pretty dusty. Yeah, we're breaking out some stuff. I mean, some of the decorations are on their last limb too. We're trying not to retire them, but Elizabeth Marshall, my wine bottles are dressed up too, Tommy. Well, you got to dress up your wine, make them feel fancy.
That's so funny.
I'm about to undress this one.
My wine tip is that I think it's like something over $24, $25. It doesn't make any difference. So you're better off like buy your average priced wine, your cheap wine. My sweet spot is like your 8 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't feel bad, if you drink the whole bottle and make Christmas cookies. It's fine.
Not at all.
2020, so
let's talk about. Go ahead, Chasten. What?
Y'all know who has some pretty good wine, surprisingly, but I love it? Trader Joe's.
They do. Straight up.
Yes. Have y'all had Trader Joe's wine? Like, let us know in the comments if you've had Trader Joe's wine. They're pretty legit.
They even have like $3 wine bottles. Based on COVID in 2020.
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry, Tommy.
I was gonna say we have a great show. Let's lay out the format for everyone so that they can hang around, and then I'll let you guys do that, and I'll.
Well, speaking of wine and drinks, next up we have our cocktails with Chasten, and then after that we are going to bring back some of our past YPN chairs, kind of Ghost of Christmas Past style. We'll have a little brief intermission in that with Snacks with Skylar. I really like alliterations. And then we're going to wrap it up, and maybe by then we'll all be feeling pretty good, depending on what Chasten has going for us. So, Chasten, want to take it away with your Christmas cocktail? Your festive booze?
I'm so excited. I feel like I saw Tommy with a wine glass or something, and I was just like, I can't wait to make this drink. So I don't have a name for this drink, but funny story, I actually learned how to make this from a cocktail class. And ever since I did that, I've been obsessed with it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm opening up this pack of sage, right? And I'm just going to burn a little bit for my glass. And if you've ever done this, like, this was probably one of the most fun activities that I did while I was at this cocktail class, because I was like, there's fire and there's burning. And I had seen that done a few times when I've ordered like old fashions at different cocktail bars or restaurants, and they would, smoke the glass and stuff. And I always wanted to do it myself. And so now I am smoking a piece of sage. What I've come to find out though, is like you really got to get it going. And once it kind of really gets smoking, then you can put your glass over it. Because if you don't, you're not going to have that smokiness. And so we're going to see if it's working a little bit, but I'm going to still smoke this. Now, this drink, it may seem a little complicated, but I promise you it is worth it, and it is delicious. And once you learn how to do it, you're gonna be obsessed the same way I am. The ingredients, we're gonna be working with some mezcal, which is my favorite. I picked this up from Total Wine. Super simple. This is a really good one. I love it. So while that's doing that, we're just gonna let that kind of do its thing, and I'm gonna start mixing the ingredients. So with our sage again, pull off a couple of these stems, and you want to maybe pull off three, 2 to 3. I'm gonna use 3, and then we want to give them a slap in our hand, and this is gonna start getting them open, getting them wide open, and then I'm gonna start muddling them just a little bit to release some of those aromas, juices, whatever you want to call them, just down here in the bottom of my shaker cup. Now, I'm going to make, with these sage leaves in here, I'm going to drop into the cup a few blueberries. Now, I really like blueberries. I use blueberries in my smoothies. I like blueberries in pancakes, just enough to get it going. We're going to make a little bit of a puree. So I'm going to start smashing up these blueberries with the sage. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a little agave. All right. And that's going to help out with our little concoction here. This is going to be the actual base of our drink. So we're not even adding any alcohol in there just yet. And it's going to take a little, you want to really get in there and grind it up. But it gets a little fun, especially when you're doing this with like friends and y'all are having a conversation. This drink isn't going to be holiday colors or anything, but the blueberries does give it a little tint. So I got those muddled pretty good. I'm going to take my agave and I'm going to add in here about ½ an ounce of this agave. It's organic, of course, because everybody wants organic everything. So I'm putting in ½ an ounce of that, and I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back to muddling it a little bit, smashing it all up, getting all these flavors going together. It really does something. I don't know all the technicalities of it and what's being released and all that good stuff, but it does something great. So this is good to go. I'm going to cut up ½ a lime, and I'm going to squeeze that ½ a lime into my drink right there. And I got this little fancy lime thing, lemon thing, whatever you call these. I really liked it. I've never used these in the past, and I got it a couple of months ago, and I'm like, this makes everything just so much easier. So I got that lime in there. All right. Now me, just because of my OCD gets in the way, you don't have to keep mixing it if you don't want to, but I just feel like it does something. All right. So that's going well. All that's done. We got our sage in there. We have our blueberries, our agave, and then we have some lime juice. Now it is time to add the alcohol. So I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to do 2 ounces of the mezcal. All right, 2 ounces. If you don't want that much, you don't have to, but I like that much. So I'm going to pour that in there, do it all the way to the top. So there's my 2. 2 ounces is definitely enough. You don't have to put any extra floaters on there like I did last time. So that's good to go. Now we can go ahead and add our ice. All right. So I have a little ice bucket here. I'm just going to drop some ice into there so it can start chilling. And I'm going to shake it. So put that on there and get to shaking. Now, I'm not a professional bartender. All right, that's good to go. All right, from here, now we have our glass. Y'all saw that smoke come up? That was good. And I am going to get my strainer, put that on there. And no, I need to add some ice to the glass first. I'm just gonna put a little bit of ice in this glass, not much. That's about enough right there for me. If you want more ice, you can definitely put more ice. And then we're just gonna pour that right in there with that strainer. Okay, now, did I get it all? Yep. Now we're gonna top it with some Topo Chico. Y'all see it exploding. So I'm just gonna put that in there. Just like that. And I'm gonna give it a little mix just to get everything going together. And then I'm just gonna garnish it with a few more blueberries on top. And there we go. Y'all, this is so delicious. See, I need to open up a bar just to serve this drink. This is delicious. I would definitely recommend trying it out. I can send you the recipe if you want it, but this is my new favorite drink. Actually, if y'all can maybe give me some name suggestions on what to name this drink, because I don't have a name for it. And I believe that there was a name given, but it wasn't like an official name. It was just like a name someone made up. So I feel like I can come up with my own name. But there's our holiday cocktail. So let's keep this show going. Skylar, Tommy, y'all there?
Yes.
What'd you think?
That is so pretty.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. Let's start getting out some name suggestions. I got one.
What?
Let's call it. We'll call it Chasten's bow tie.
Okay. I was going in different directions.
All right.
Okay. So you could go like that route, or you could go in like the sage way of like a sage kiss, or like a sage crush. I don't know. Or you could go like holiday-ish, like call it like a Santa hat. I don't know. It's like
Let's call it
a holly berry.
Let's call it the ugly sweater.
The ugly sweater.
It's so pretty though. You can't call it an ugly, but I
and
like
it. Taste-wise, it has a really good smoky taste, but kind of airy as well.
Oh, we lost Chasten. What about Christmas past or something? Is that too Christmassy?
I mean, that would kind of keep you to just drinking it around Christmas.
That's true. We don't want to pigeonhole.
Yeah, you don't want to pigeonhole a good cocktail.
Anyone else? Do we have any?
Kessler's passing messages along to me while I'm live. You can.
He's anyway. So Metrotext going official YPX drink. I like it. I'm not mad at that.
Ah, the YPX. The YPX.
That's pretty good.
Hold on.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
So, I'm not supposed to be on for how many more minutes, but I'm here just like I would be at our regular holiday party. I know we got Johnny Moad on. I saw him. Chase and Miles too. Unfortunately, he'll be back on.
Hey, Dustin, can you bring Johnny on?
Yeah, let's bring Johnny on.
Sure.
Moad. It's Moad time. What is Moad? Do we have any bets on if we see any Christmas decor in Moad's back?
There it is!
It could have been what?
Flew in just for you guys. Passport in hand.
You were so extra. I love it.
Moad is my guy. Lord have mercy. So you're home? You're here.
I did. I just got the car, just dropped me off. So flew in from PV and we made it. We will not ever miss a YPN party. I know a lot of people on this call have been with me through the thick and thin. We survived a snowstorm, so wouldn't miss it for the world.
All right. So unabbreviate PV. Where did you just come from?
Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Did you say snowstorm?
No, I was going back when we did the YPN party. What was that? The one back over when Joe hosted the venue.
That was 2015. It's 2015.
Yeah, and it was like freak snowstorm. No one knew if it was going to come, but that was one of our record year turnouts, and it was amazing. There's over 150 plus people.
Hey, it was an icy night, and we were all like, none of us should really be driving home, and that was pretty much before rideshare is what it is today. That's not funny. We should not be laughing about that. I will say that we are all here today.
Right.
Some drove home with one eye open on ice. We are all here today. I didn't say I did. What are you drinking, Johnny? Red, white?
Oh, I got a little champagne goblet.
Okay. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
I need to up my drink game. Like,
I miss you, buddy. We're not laughing at you. Since you're laughing, we are laughing with you. But, holiday party stuff. Chasen is like gone for good.
Like Chase and I tuned in and I saw him like shaking a shaker and I thought he was gonna like pour drinks or maybe he just fell off. He's gonna deliver them to us. Is that?
Do you want to bring in Joe?
Absolutely. I just heard it in my ear. Bring Joe in. So my son Kessler is actually watching this downstairs.
Oh!
Here he is.
How y'all doing?
Why?
We gotta get that Joe Atkins up in here. That 2012 chair.
Y'all are so, man.
What did you think this was? This is our holiday party.
I realize watching this how old I am compared to the rest of y'all now.
So?
Well, it was either gonna be that or like shirtless on a beach, but
Well, I see Chasten, I'm like, damn, that boy's got good hair. I'm like, man, Chasten, keep rocking it, brother, because when it's gone, it's gone.
Oh,
ain't no coming back from that. We had the opportunity. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. We all met with each other and we were talking about how we got roped into YPN. And Johnny, I want to start with you. I want to hear how you first got even into let's just say Metrotex as a whole, and then how you got into YPN through Metrotex, or vice versa. What was the story? And I'll shut up and listen.
sure, Joe. Your part to blame on it. Yeah, he's taking a drink. No, so I kind of had a really interesting way of falling into Metrotex, so to speak. I kind of went into it with some of our mutual friends, Julie Pillins, Ginger Gill. All of them kind of gave me or pushed me into an opportunity to be the Area 17 representative for our MLS area. So I kind of came in it that way and worked backwards and got heavily involved. Kristen Smith is one of my faves. She's heavily involved in YPN on a state and national level as well. So kudos, shout out to her. Love you, girl. But yeah, I know Metrotex has been great, and YPN's been there in every step of the way. As a lot of you guys know, I helped start up the White Party for Tree Pack with Metrotex, and it was a legendary event for the 5 years. Kimberly, Addison Kramer, and I did it, and we couldn't have done it without the support of YPN. So YPN's always been the backbone, and that's why this next year I'm going to be under Skylar, and we are going to kill it, and we're going to bring all the gang back. Look right here, we got the group. Group's coming back.
That is, man. You were in the room when I first came in. You were always a staple, and I always wanted to whatever I had to say, because I don't know how you feel about being at that table, at that YPN table, the boardroom table. I was intimidated when I first came in And there were certain people at that table that I was like, if I raise my hand and say something, number one, don't stutter.
Oh, no.
Get out a good point, and afterwards, I want to be able to reach out and make sure I have the support of people in the room, like Tommy, not Tommy, like Johnny and Joe and Subi, like the people that have been there before me. And no, Johnny, you're one of those guys. I always wanted to look to you to make sure that the direction that it was being pulled, because we weren't always the ones pulling the strings. We kind of were, but sometimes we couldn't. I think we gotta say what's up to Joe Mazza, who is the godfather and of YPN, and for sure helped to guide us in that direction. But I've always had the most respect for you, Johnny, and how you carried yourself. There were debates within that room that we speak of legendary. I mean, conversations that had big implications for the direction of YPN for the next year, and I always appreciated your opinion. So cheers.
Thank you for that. Very, very appreciative. Thank you.
Joe, I want to hear, you were able to tell Skylar and I, but I want you to share with all the viewers how you first came in and got to be a part of Metrotex and YPN.
Well, I told you guys kind of a little bit about it Tuesday, but I actually became a realtor in 2007. My dad was a broker at the time. He was heavily involved with the education committee, government affairs. And the one bit of advice he gave me once I became a realtor was like, hey, he's like, you got to get involved with something at Metrotex. So at the time, there was no YPN. And I think I went to a government affairs committee meeting, and I'll never forget, I'm sitting there listening. I think I was probably 27, 28 at the time. I was the youngest person in that room by probably 25 or 30 years. I was like, wow, like there's not many young people involved. And so ironically, I think it was about a year and a half later, I got a call from Joe Mazza, and he was like, hey, we know you're on the government affairs committee. We're looking to start this young professional network. We're trying to get more young real estate professionals involved. And, he's like, we'd like you to be a part of it. So, I think from who's still around, like me, Subi, James Martin, man, that might be it really from like who's still around and involved that were part of the original crew whenever YPN started. There was about, I want to say there's probably about 15 or 20 of us when we started. Joe Mazza, our fearless leader, he put the group together, led it. And then, it was kind of on us to kind of recruit in other people to get involved. And I think by the end of our first year, we had, like I said, we started with 15 or 20. I think we got up to about 40 members by the end of the year. And obviously it's just grown and grown from there.
Well, okay. I hear kids and I love all of it. I identify with a lot of what you said so hard. So I know we talked about it a little bit too. I mean, I didn't even come into YPN until 2014. But tell me what you said about sitting at that table and just it being intimidating. Most of the people in contact with YPN were not just within YPN, but we're with other committees at Metrotex. I mean, the people in that room go on, like you told me, be Realtor of the Year. Joe, you've been everywhere. You've been recognized multiple times through magazines, making a huge difference in real estate, just, continuing your dad's legacy. So it's just, I think I love the, how do I say it? The coming full circle. I think that YPN brings you, it's a place to start, and it's a place that you will always have a seat left to join in, no matter how old you get, no matter how long it's been since you came to a meeting, you're always there. The fact that 6 years later, now we're all in the same brokerage. Who would have thought? So,
Right.
But I think it shows all of the leaders I've met have all been through YPN.
And one of the big things I think for most people with YPN is, when you're a younger real estate professional, whether it's a realtor, title industry person, mortgage industry, you're really just trying to like find ways to connect and see how you can, what's your role? Like, what can you do outside of just your normal work to, benefit and help, the industry and the association. And that's kind of how I looked at it. I was like, hey, I see all these people, involved in these committees and that, and these are the people I see that are also, involved on the board of directors and stuff at the state, so I was like, well, if you get involved with the committee, it seems to lead you to other paths, which the same year that I actually was chairing YPN, I was also in leadership that year. Mm-hmm. And I actually got asked to be on the board to fulfill a seat that somebody vacated, halfway through the year at the board of directors. And that was my first year. So, the first year the year that I was chair ended up kind of spiraling into like a lot of bigger and better things, as far as the association. And then I kind of, have gone up from there in different roles and capacities. So, I think anyone that's, just starting to get involved in a YPN, you need to look at it as a way to connect with other like-minded people, and not just connect, but like, you need to have a voice. I mean, the best thing that we have done as a YPN committee is we have a voice like within the board. I mean, I served on the Metrotex board for, God, I think 5-6 years, and YPN was always at the forefront because they were like, you know what, these are our future leaders and we need to listen to what they got to say.
Metrotex gets it. Like there's a lot of associations that don't. We found that out at almost all of the national NAR conferences. There's, we hear other stories and they're like, yeah, they won't give us any money for this or that. Like Metrotex gets it. So for sure.
Mm-hmm. I love what you said too about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. There's a saying that says you become most like the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely.
Right.
Surrounding yourself with people that are where you want to be, that are leaders, that are always looking for ways to grow and improve. I think, like you said, surround yourself with those people and you just fall in line with that.
Right.
So choose your mate.
You look,
wisely, people.
If you look around, there's various people that have either chaired, co-chaired, or, headed other committees within YPN. Most of those people have served either in leadership on the board of directors, whether it's the local, state, or national, or they serve in other capacities within Metrotex. So it's not just, fly-by-night people that have been involved and, had a big influence as far as YPN, but it's people that are really making a difference within the association.
I've interviewed for the board 3 times.
Hey.
And
that board time is probably when you get your seat.
I know I'm messing around. I have, but it's extremely competitive. So that's why I'm amazed that you were invited to the board And it just makes your accomplishments even more amazing for what you've been able to do. Yes, it is a small fraternity of people who've ever been able to say that they've served on the Metrotex board. A very small fraternity, quite the same as our leadership fraternities, which we don't take lightly. I'm sure you still have friends that you wouldn't have met or ever been friends with had it not been for leadership. I sure
Absolutely
have them. Skylar,
Yeah.
I mean, look at all three of us. We are graduates. My words are getting slower with every sip. You got a segment to do, Skylar.
I do. I was about to
What's
say
your
on that,
segment?
you should probably eat something. So I have a snack segment.
What's your segment? What is it?
It's Snacks with Skylar.
Snack.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off because we have George Hawkins, Johnny Moad, Ryan Hobson, and Joe. I think we're out, so Skylar can do her thing.
I'm so glad you were able to come on, though. Thank you for coming.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Hey, like my parting words are just, you guys got to just keep pushing forward. I mean, I know this has been a weird year with COVID and, not being able to meet in person and things like that. But, stay in front of your fellow, real estate professionals that are like-minded and get them involved in YPN and tell them, like, look, we need more involvement from people that think like us to, push our agenda of, hey, like, we're going to be the ones taking over this association, full throttle here in the next, decade. So you guys need to listen to what we have to say.
I love it. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I guess we're transitioned into snack time. Well, on that note, I'm going to put on my apron that we got. Okay, so I am a dessert person, and I am learning how to be more kitchen competent. If any of you guys follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you have seen those stories, some successful, some not. But the one thing I can do are desserts and baking. And what's great is that this one is not even really baking. You use a microwave once. So if you are not good at cooking and you are tasked with bringing something to a party, when we used to have those, or a socially distanced party, or you want to make bags, whatever it is, this is one of my favorite go-tos. Part of it is because it's nostalgic. It goes by many, many names. You may know it as Puppy Chow. Chex Mix calls it Muddy Buddies. But what I love about it also is not only is it super easy to make, it is very allergen friendly. So Chex Mix itself, I think all of them are gluten-free, but if not, you can specifically look for the ones that are gluten-free, and they come in a ton of different flavors. So tonight I actually tried peanut butter, which was a very, very happy choice. What's great about it too is that they're always going to post the Muddy Buddies or Puppy Chow recipe on the back. So you don't have to try and look it back up. It tells you everything you need, but the ingredients are pretty simple. This is a regular size box of Chex. Honestly, you're going to want the family size if you want to do the full 9 cups, or you can do a combination. On this one, they have it where you can do the peanut butter Chex combined with like the chocolate Chex. The possibilities are endless. But at the end of the day, this is going to be about 7 cups. The recipe typically calls for 9. It's not bad if you go for less than 9 because it just means that your puppy chow is going to be even more peanut butter chocolatey. So first off, you're going to need your base, which is going to be whichever Chex you choose. You could probably try to do off-brand if you wanted to, but what is so good about Chex is that the consistency, it soaks in all of your ingredients, which are going to be, you don't need to think about calories or tell your heart what's in it. That's not important. So you're going to have fourth of a cup of butter. So I like to get the butters that are half sticks. They're all divided, so it's just a little half stick. And you're going to melt that in a microwavable cup, quart size, with a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chip morsels. and a 4th cup. Is that what it was? It was. And a 4th cup of peanut butter. So going back to allergy friendly, if you or someone you know or love that might be enjoying this has a nut allergy, you could, in theory, substitute it with something like a sunflower butter or an almond butter if they can't do peanuts, but they can do other nuts. So you do have a few options there as well. Just make sure it's going to be creamy. You don't really want to add the crunchy because part of it is that it's going to melt within the Chex Mix. So you're melting your butter, your peanut butter, and your chocolate chips. Throw it in the microwave for a minute. And if it's not all smooth, you can't stir it, it's still chunky, you just reheat it again on 30-second intervals. But for me, it worked for the first time. And then all you do is you have a big bowl. I like to use my preparation bowl, which is also our candy bowl for Halloween for trick-or-treaters, and then put it into a different bowl after because you're going to want to clean that. It's going to get kind of messy. But all you do is you just pour your chocolate butter, peanut butter mixture on top of your Chex Mix, stir it all together, and then you're going to get a large Ziploc bag. They recommend 2 gallons. So a few different schools of thought on this. Oh, I almost forgot. You're going to add just a little teaspoon of vanilla, and that you just mix in after your chocolate peanut butter is at a smooth consistency. I think the vanilla can burn, technical kitchen stuff. So you're going to mix it all together in the bowl, and then you are going to divide it into, you can do 2 Ziploc bags, or depending on how much you have, you can do it just in 1 big bag. They call for like 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, but honestly, this recipe calls for as much powdered sugar as your heart desires. And for me, that's when everything starts to look kind of like a fresh little snow on top of your Chex Mix. So I just kept adding. I probably did closer to 3.5 cups of powdered sugar instead of 1.5 cups, but who's counting? This is the consistency that you're looking for in my container bowl. You can also, if you have little ones, you can put it in the fridge for a little bit and chill it if you don't want it to be as melty. But the powdered sugar takes care of it. You can dish it out, do a little scoop, hands it out on pop-bys. But that's it. So if your kitchen's scared like me, all you need is a microwave. Super easy, fail-proof. You really can't mess up chocolate, peanut butter, and Chex and powdered sugar. And that's snack time with Skylar. So that's great. You can try to, and you can catch it. Yes, I can. I'm sorry. All right. So this is my after bowl because my before bowl was soaking in the sink.
Look at that. Okay. Awesome. And that seems like super easy too. See, look at this. We have the cocktails and we have the snack. I mean, it's a perfect evening right there, if you ask me. How does it taste?
I have to hide it because I have no self-control.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
Part of being a good leader is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. So mine is I can't be left alone with sweets.
No,
I'll ask my husband to help them.
I'm the exact same way. All right, well, let's keep the show moving. So next we have Ryan. Funny thing about Ryan. And I'm gonna say this. I think the first year I joined YPN, Ryan was the chair, and so you were my first chair all those years ago.
And you're still around. Look at you.
I'm still around.
Running things.
Man, what have you been up to? How's life these days?
Oh, life is fantastic. You know, as good as it can be in the COVID world.
Yeah.
So, Jason, I did not make your drink. I have Shriner Cheer, and that's, it looks amazing, but way too much work. Skylar, I am on board with you with 4.5 cups of powdered sugar. So, and George, it's for you, brother.
Now.
Awesome.
Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Cheers to that, sir.
I'm so happy to be here with my YPN family for the YPN holiday party.
Yeah,
Never
man.
missed it.
Yeah. So,
How's
you know,
it been treating you since
Sorry,
you were
say that again.
since you were a chair? Like, how's your life changed?
Oh my goodness.
Growing a beautiful magazine-worthy family.
Yeah, 4.5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and they make me want to pull my hair out, but will melt my heart at the same time. So, it's been pretty great. Chasten, I don't know if you heard, but Joe's super jealous of your hair.
no, I did hear. I was sitting
Like
back.
I'm moving up into that old man category like Joe now. So
yeah, but you know, I don't know. Johnny just sent me all of these old pictures, and it was amazing. I mean, there was old pictures of everybody, of Joe, of you, like back in like old YPN days, and everybody looked like a little different, but kind of the same. And it was like, wow. I wish we could put them up on the screen, but I don't think that we can. But they were pretty awesome.
next year's holiday party, we'll have a big
We'll have a full slideshow on like a 50-inch screen.
There we go.
So
what are you been up to?
what got you involved in
And George.
Yeah, George. Well, George after Ryan, right?
I had to cover my hair and change since Chasten stole my haircut. He'll probably have a beard next in a couple of months.
I'm not gonna have to do it. That's one thing I will not do. I tried that last year.
That shirt looks familiar too, sir, but whatever. I'm not here to judge.
Look, I've been working out a little bit, so. But no, I'm not gonna do the beard thing. I'm done with that life. I tried it; it didn't work out. It just doesn't.
Patches.
No, it's just like I don't know. It feels itchy and it feels like it hurts, and I wasn't willing to give it the effort to even like get past those beginning stages. So yeah. Well, cool. Like, so let's get into the
beginning stages. I'm gonna segue right back to
what did you say?
What'd you say?
So let's start with Ryan. Ryan, how did you first what brought you into it?
To YPN?
We're gonna take turns on this, kids. It's gonna be great. So Ryan, what brought you into YPN?
Joe Atkins brought me to YPN, and I'd met Joe like a couple weeks before the first meeting that I attended, and he was chair at that time, and I was with my old brokerage, and they were, I knew nothing about Metrotex. I mean, they were just very no one was involved. I had no idea really what Metrotex was or what they brought to the table for realtors. And I met Joe at like a museum tower tour. And he was like, dude, you got to come check out YPN. So I went to a meeting and then started going to meeting after meeting after meeting, and got to know, started getting to know everyone there. And then Tommy chaired the next, 2 years. And that's really when I just stayed on track. So, but and then after I saw the benefit of YPN and Metrotex as a whole, I decided I need to be more involved. I need to join leadership, Hardcore 24, And it was, Metrotex has been great to me, great to all of their members have the same opportunities that I've had through Metrotex, and it's just a great organization. And YPN is at the forefront of that, honestly. So my best experience, one of the best experiences of YPN is getting to go to the conference in Chicago, which I know, we weren't able to do this year.
Yeah.
But, it was really cool to get to bond with other YPN chairs and get to hear how they are running their YPNs, and just sharing ideas and brainstorming and being able to just kind of piggyback off of each other is really cool. And then when you go to the NAR conference, or any in any of them, at that point, like, then you start seeing all these same people in your plan and trip together, and really, it was a great time. Obviously, the holiday parties are the best.
Yeah.
Holiday party for sure.
Well,
but YPN's been great, and I'm excited for everyone, all the leaders coming up, and excited to see where it goes. Yeah.
I love it because I came in when Tommy was chair in 2014. I just missed Joe, but I remember all of you guys being there. George was one of the first friends I made at Joe Atkins Realty when I eventually came over after Tommy kept bugging me about it for a year. But just to be able to see all of you guys start as like these big, huge heroes of, oh my goodness, I just want a friend at YPN. I'm 22 and I don't know what to do with my license. And just now being associates, working together, competing together, learning together. It's really been, you ask yourself, 5 years ago where you think you would be. And it's just even more than I could have imagined or hoped for. And George, my first friend, who was one of the first to really push me to even sign up to be, eventually chair, vice chair, then chair. I was terrified about that. It's been amazing having Chasten and trying to hold on to him and follow everything that he does. But how's it been for you? I mean, you were up there at the beginning too. You've been around for years and you've always been a friendly face. How did you get dragged into our fun show?
I got dragged in by